Hi, I'm Dominica Lumazar.
And I'm Rory Carruthers.
We help entrepreneurs develop their big picture business strategy in order to break through growth plateaus.
We built several marketing agencies from the ground up and have helped our clients earn over $1 billion in revenue.
Now we want to share everything we've learned along the way.
This is the Big Picture Business Podcast.
Well, hello to all of you out there. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Rory sent me an email a couple of days ago touching on something that I think we need to bring to all of you, which I think is going to add a lot of value. Today, we're going to talk about mindset versus tactics and where that can come into play in business. And we're also going to talk about how to become better than 95% of people at anything within a week. I'm not kidding. Rory, take it away.
All right, on the spot here. So,
Heck yeah, man, that's how we do things.
All right, so the first thing we want to talk about was the
mindset versus tactics. Yeah.
So I was thinking about like Dominica mentioned, like the other day I was thinking about this and I was like, okay, well, when you're getting started in business, like one of the biggest things is all the tactics stand out. They're like the little hacks and things that people try and, sell you on that, oh, this is the like system you have to do. And that's the only way that you're going to be successful. But once you actually have a functioning business and are making decent income and you actually start to surround yourself with people who are successful and have businesses that are doing well and everyone's trying to, take it to the next level, you start to realize that most of the time, like if, especially if you go to high-end masterminds, the ones that are, about $10,000 and above, what they're actually focusing on is not the tactics. They may have some tactics here and there, but the majority of what is being taught is mindset strategies, because the biggest block that we have for moving forward tends to be ourselves, not the strategies that we're using.
Totally. I think an important distinction that needs to be made is the term tactic and strategy are often confused. Tactics are the actual means and steps used to meet goals and objectives, while the strategy is the overall big picture or campaign plan, right? So tactics, it's important to be of the right mindset to put the plan into action with using certain tactics to get to the big picture goal, right? But I think what you're saying, Rory, is just totally true. It really does come down to the mindset that is being taught, and it's important not to get confused between the two.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, I mean, do you have are you thinking of a couple examples, Rory, about the difference between the two? Or what makes one, more important to start with, perhaps?
Well, it's always going to be a little bit of both, because you need tactics to implement your strategies based on the mindset. If all you ever focus on is having a better mindset and you don't implement anything,
right, then what's
dead in the water, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it's a bit of both, and it's realizing that when you're hitting up against a barrier, you have to realize, is it an outdated tactic or is it a mindset block that I'm hitting? And you have to be able to differentiate that. And one of the easiest ways is, are you feeling an internal block about this? Because sometimes it's unconscious and we don't know it, but a lot of times, like when you start thinking about it, you go, oh, like, yeah, like there's this thing that's bugging me and I just can't get by it. And that's why everything I'm doing isn't working. Other times you're using a tactic that maybe someone was successful with and shared with you, and they were successful with it like 3 years ago, and then you try and go implement it, it doesn't work anymore. It's like, no matter how good your mindset is, that's tactic isn't going to work anymore because it's outdated.
There's too many factors involved. Yeah.
Yeah. And so in when you're getting clients, and when you're building a business, and the tactics are the things that kind of hook people in because they're new and exciting, especially if you have new and exciting things to share with people, and
Hmm.
everyone wants that like quick boost of like, oh, how do I go out and in 3 days make 10 grand, right?
Hmm.
That's very common languaging that's
That we
used.
see in our world. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the marketing guru world. Yes.
Yeah, the reality is that maybe 5% of the people that implement it actually get those results. And they use that in the marketing to say, oh, well, you too can go out and do this. And it's
Mhm.
like, yeah, possibly. There's a lot of factors that go into it. Um, a lot of it uh, can also come down is, did you even implement it? Did you implement the thing properly? Did you follow the directions? Because a lot of times what will happen is you'll get some strategy or tactic, to clarify tactic.
It's important. It is
Yeah.
important to clarify the two. Yeah. Make the
um,
distinction between the two.
you'll get this information and you'll go and you'll implement it, but you like what we tend to do is go, oh, I don't like that aspect of it, it doesn't resonate with me, I'm not going to do that.
Mhm.
Or this thing here, oh, I totally like just skipped it. And it's like, if you're receiving a tactic from someone who you trust and is giving you something that is of value, and you don't implement it correctly, then again you're dead in the water, because sometimes the little details of those tactics are what makes the difference. So you have
Well,
to
go ahead.
well so I was going to say, you have to be like aware of that. Now if you implement it and you do it properly, and you've gone back, you're like, I've done every single step properly, and in some cases you've even gone back to the person who shared the tactic with you and said, hey, did I implement this correctly? And they go, yes, you did, and it didn't work. Then you have to zoom back out and go, okay, well, what is going on here? Was it the tactic, or was it a mindset, or the in between thing was it right for my market?
That's the whole thing, right? That is the biggest aspect of putting any blueprint, whatever, into action. I mean, if it's not going to make sense to your target demographic, your target audience, your email list, it's not going to work. So, so someone can go off and make $10,000 in their first week of trying something, but it made sense for their market. But I wanted to use the example, Rory, because this has been really successful. And you brought this to me, and I'm sure I've talked about this in a previous episode, where um, the pay what you can offer.
Hmm.
uh, it's working so well for my business, and it's working really well for my clients who have implemented those tactics that I was very clear on. This is exactly how to do it. Here's exactly how to write it. Here's the soft offer. Here's the, more direct offer. It's a tactic, and the strategy is very clear on how we approach certain things in the marketing realm. But this particular campaign, the bigger strategy, I followed every single step that Rory was like, this is what you need to do. This is what we're modeling it after. Here's a target demographic. Like, just be very clear about it. Um, and it bugs me so much when I do see these other marketing gurus, or the marketing other experts, and other professionals, and even some of my peers, our peers, who will push something that sounds good, it looks good, it's packaged right, it's marketed well, but they market it to the masses for everyone, and it's not. So try your best. Like, if you're listening to this and maybe you've seen some ads, on Facebook or Instagram or wherever, and you're thinking, oh, I really, I want to make that, $5.99 investment, or $599 investment in whatever this person is, offering. That's a terrible number. $5.99. Where did I come up with that? How about $4.49? That's probably better. But anyways, my point is that whatever you invest in to continue your personal education, your leadership education, your business education, make sure that it actually can fit into your business model. It makes no sense for a restaurant to invest in, you know, someone's online program to get more online students. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you might really like the person and maybe they have something that's modeled correctly, but yeah, be paying attention to things like that. I'm sorry, that's a little bit of a tangent as usual, but it's important to look at those aspects of online courses, because we're just going to keep seeing more of them right now, especially with what's happening in our global climate. We're going to see more online courses being sold than ever before. And in a lot of ways, that's fantastic, right? People can get educated in a way that maybe they wouldn't have had the opportunity to be. So that aspect is cool, but just be aware of what you're really buying and if it's going to add value to you at the end of the day, because there's just only so much time as a business owner, or if you're buying it for your team.
Yeah, and I want to point out that, like, a couple things. One, a year ago, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, online courses are like dying," because there was oversaturation.
Oh, how the times have turned. Yeah, I know.
But now, like, with everyone at home, out of jobs, like, everyone's looking for that edge. Like, how do I make the money that I need to be able to make so that I can live my life, essentially, right?
Well, and listen, like, if you're considering doing a course, it's not that it doesn't need to be as daunting and as challenging as a lot of people make it out to be. And I can say that confidently because so many of my clients, when I bring it up, I'm like, okay, let's do a course, they're like, oh gosh, like, why? I don't want to do it. Look, I went kicking and screaming when Rory was like, you have to do a course with your book launch. I was like, I don't want to freaking do this. Guess what? You do it once. Yeah, you make sure it's evergreen and then it's done. And I mean, if you have to update some things along the way, so be it. But once you have it, you have it. And my Empowered Brand Success course is still selling really well a year later. And I shot it on my iPhone. I edited it in iMovie. Like, and it looks really good, you know? And a lot of people compliment me or ask me, oh, did your team put this together for you? No, I did it in like 2 days. So it doesn't need to be this long drawn out process. So if you're a business owner or a coach and you're trying to get that either competitive edge, or you're trying to establish yourself more as an authority in your market, if you've carved out a niche for yourself, doing a course, even an intro beginner course where you're teaching, where you're adding value, really can do a lot for your business. And I can speak to that firsthand.
Remember to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get notified when each new episode is released. To download the digital episode companions, watch unedited and behind the scenes content from this and all our other episodes, get access to exclusive trainings from us and our guests, get direct access to Dominica and myself, and to schedule your business critiques with us, head on over to bpppodcast.com/VIP. The link is also in the description. All right, we'll see you over there.